let's talk about hot tub covers. Now, at Arctic we offer a standard cover which is very similar to the cover you would receive on any of the other premium brands. But we do offer a better alternative. And that alternative is called a Made.flv cover. Now, in earlier episodes of these fantastic videos, we did talk about insulation and the fact that, you know, the cover, because heat does rise, was as or more important to the insulation package of your hot tub as what's going on underneath it. And we've been working for years to try and solve this age-old problem that's happened with hot tub covers basically since the inception of hot tub covers. And that problem is basically the absorption of moisture into this foam. Now, the reason that moisture gets into the foam so quickly in most hot tub covers is a simple fact that everybody takes foam, but they cut the foam to fit their spa. We cut it at a taper because most covers are tapered. We got to cut the radius of the corners, and as soon as we cut that foam, we basically turn that foam into a sponge. So we've gone through a couple steps over time trying to keep the moisture out of the foam. First step was poly, right? Slowed it down, didn't solve the problem. Our next step, we tried injecting this foam into molds so that we made the foam in exactly this shape so we didn't have to cut it, therefore not opening the sponge. Helped, didn't solve. And the final evolution of this process is a trademark and patented process we have now called Made.flv wrapping. And with Made.flv wrapping, basically, and for lack of a better analogy, we're wrapping this foam in a coffee bag. And when you take a new coffee bag that's wrapped in that metal foil and you puncture it with your knife and you hear that it's breaking that seal, but it was truly sealed. And we're doing the same thing now to this foam insert. And by heating and sealing that bag around that piece of foam, we truly have figured out a way now to keep the moisture out of that foam. And it solved this ongoing problem, because here's the problem that happens when you get moisture into the foam of your cover. As the moisture gets in, the insulation value of that foam starts to diminish. And as the insulation value starts to diminish, your running cost starts to increase. So here's what was happening. Every day for a few years, your running costs would slightly increase as your foam got wetter until took the whole family to lift this off the cover because it was off the tub because it was so heavy, and you'd buy a new one. And then it would start over and you'd buy a new one. And that happened for the life of the spa, higher running costs and replacement covers. And it was expensive. So by keeping the moisture out of this foam and stopping the running cost increase and stopping the replacement cover cost, this cover really is capable of saving you thousands of dollars over the life of the spa. Anyway, that's the biggest benefit of this cover. There's a few others. Here's another important piece. This is an insulated baffle that runs the entire distance of this center seam. Now, on lots of covers, you'll see a wallet-sized piece here on the outside that basically prevents the steam from billowing out the side. But the seam itself is not insulated. And you'll get a tremendous amount of heat loss up through the center. Okay? We've insulated the full seam to stop that heat loss out through the center. Okay? Another big advantage of this cover is simply its strength. You know, the foam we use in this cover is a 3-pound density foam, which compares to the industry that uses 1 to 1.5. We've run some steel C-channels through this cover, but this cover can easily hold, you know, heavy old guys like myself. It'll hold your kids, it'll hold your neighbors, it'll hold a snow load without ever caving in. Okay. where most tubs or most hot tub covers, if I was up on it, I'd be in it. We use better quality vinyls. We use higher thread counts. We use longer wind flaps. We use heavier locks. Everything about this cover is better, and it truly is the best hot tub cover you can buy in the hot tub world.